Hey guys, Adam from Equipped Indoors. So I get a lot of requests for something specific. Adam, how did you convex your Becker BK-2, or how can you convex a knife, or can you do a Becker BK-2 convexing video? Convex, Becker BK-2, some of my two favorite things. Put them together, everybody gets really excited. Anyway, so we have right here a brand new Becker BK-2 that we did in a giveaway. This is going to our buddy Al. Al was the winner of this knife. Boom, Al, here's your knife. Now, as you guys can see, this is brand new. It's never been touched, never been cut. Uncle Ethan would not be happy about that. He wants to see this out there, you know, chopping something, batoning something in half. But Al wanted us to do a convexing on this for him, and I've been getting a lot of responses. And like somebody right now is watching this video. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this forever. And I'm going to show you guys how I convex my BK-2. Now, let's talk about convexing in general. You got a couple different of grinds, and the easiest way to explain it, you got your flat grind. Don't mind my knuckles. It's your flat grind or V grinds like this. You have your hollow grinds more like this, and then you have your convex grind that's more like this. What this does is it actually, and I'll use this box right here, it puts more metal behind the edge. One thing that I've seen too is it actually stops a little bit of drag when you're cutting, so it might not be as sharp as a hollow grind or a V grind, but if you have a V grind and of course the materials you're cutting into, you're going to have all this drag, but when you have a convex grind, you're going to lose some of that drag. So while the initial cut might not be as smooth as a V grind, it might not catch as easily, it's going to do well on the cut afterwards. So let's talk about some of my favorite knives that are convexed. This is my Folkniven Iden. A lot of people who say, Adam, what's your favorite knife? What's the knife that you use the most? It's probably this knife. I mean, this knife stays sharp forever. It is a VG10 laminated steel, so that's part of the reason why. But I just really love this knife. Just the ergonomics of this knife. It's a stacked leather handle, very comfortable. The guard doesn't get too much in my way, and I can do a lot with this knife. And it is a little thicker than I like, but all the same, it is a great knife. Not to say that I don't have other knives that I love as well. This is just a knife that I've had for a number of years, and it's never gone wrong for me. Now, some knives that didn't have a convex grind that I convex myself, of course, my BK-2, which you guys have all seen. This is a Moccasin Ranger, and I really didn't like the blade profile, and you guys can see how much steel is exposed right there. I did a heavy reprofiling to convex this edge, and this thing is like, you know, shaving sharp right now. Now, shaving sharp isn't always a good thing because it can weaken the edge too, but with this, the edge isn't too weak or anything like that. It's just really sharpened very well. Alright, so let's talk about sharpening before we get into it. There's a couple different things that we could do. Sharpening is either removing material from the knife or pushing material back into place. And what I mean by that is when you have an edge, there's micro serrations. So some stuff like, leather stropping or really fine paper, take the serrations that are kind of gone all jagged and nasty and kind of get them all back lined up. So you're actually pushing that stuff back together by very fine materials, pushing it down. Other stuff will actually remove that material. So let's talk about something that removes material. First off, carbide or carbide notches. This is a handy sharp. We just started doing a video on this here recently, but I've had other carbide tipped sharpening tools in the past. And basically this is a very hard metal which goes against something that is not as hard, and it removes the material. Let me give you an example. Carbide is very hard. It's one of the hardest substances on the planet, if not the hardest. It does work very good for fire starters. There we go. Ooh, I burned the house down. Got to take that oxidation off a little bit. So, but this actually rips steel off there. It does a lot of damage to the metal. You can take off shaving. You can basically shave the metal here. This axe steel is it's pretty hard stuff, but you guys can see I'm taking some chunk out of that. Carbide's going to remove a lot of material. Now if you use it lightly, very softly, like this is supposed to, it's not going to take off that much, but you have to be really careful. Now this V-notch right here, if you were to use this as a 22-degree angle, we're going to be taking a lot of material off. The next, going down a little bit, is ceramic. And here's an example of ceramic. This is just something that I have. This old cheap Walmart thing, but basically the same type of concept. Next, we have different sharpeners with a certain kind of stone. Now what I'm going to show you right now is just a Lansky stone right here. Different grit. Some of the stuff is diamond impregnated, which is going to remove material as well. Okay. Now, so you guys got the main idea, the difference between pushing the material back, and that would be something like a leather strop. You can use that to refine, you can hone up your edge a little bit. Now that's more of an edge maintenance. If you use it a little bit, you want to keep it sharp, because if you keep your knife sharper, it'll cut better and it won't dull as fast. It's like a ratio. Once you start breaking that, once it starts getting a little dull, it's going to get duller faster. Alright, so got a couple different sharpening options here. I got a Lansky set right here. I've got, of course, my carbide. But to do a convex edge, so we need something that's going to give a little bit. So that's the best way to do that is either with a piece of leather or a belt. So we do have our last thing here is our WorkSharp. So we will be doing this on a WorkSharp, and it's a powered machine, guys. But I mean, you go there, pick up one of these. I think they're under $100. I've seen them as low as $60, and I'll tell you, you will get your money out of them very, very quickly. So let's set that up, and we're going to convex this Becker BK-2 right now. All right, guys. First off, remember to always have your eye protection. We're going to throw on this. I think this is a 80 grit belt. I can't remember. This is going to take off a lot of material. We're going to see sparks fly here in a hot second. The reason being is we're reprofiling this. Now, a lot of people ask me over and over again, Adam, doesn't that damage the heat treat on your knife? The answer is no, not unless you keep the blade there for an extended period of time on a finer paper. And as soon as you take that blade off, it is cool to the touch. You don't have to worry about it. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the blade in here. We're going to give it some torque into the belt. So the edge is going to go into the belt. Get it where we want it. And you do have to watch out for the tip because people have a tendency to pull it down here and round their tip off. So you don't want to force it down. You just want to pull it out. So already you guys can see we got a little bit more metal exposed. And that already feels like a good edge. It's not a bad edge at all. Do have a bird there though. If my eyes are kind of wonky or if that tip's kind of wonky. Alright guys, so that's going to do it. We're going to move on to the next grid of paper. A lot of guys say, oh, Adam, you're going to damage the coating. Is that bad? Guys, I mean, if you're using this thing, the coating's going to get damaged anyway. Just make sure you oil your knife up every once in a while. We're not shaving yet. It's starting to grab on a little bit, though. I got to stop doing that. Now, we haven't even got to the good stuff yet. Now for a 1/4 inch knife, not bad. Alright, so let's put the sexy final edge on. Oh my fine straps are getting to be nothing. Now these are the ones that you got to watch out for. Oh yeah, that's shaving sharp right there, buddy. Oh. Butter. Alright, there we have it, folks. Convex BK-2. Alright guys, that'll do it. Don't cut yourself with it. And Mike, sorry if I stole your line. But that's pretty butter. Alright, well hey Al, congratulations. We're shipping this out to you. Mrs. Equipped to Endure, make sure she gets it in the mail for you on Monday morning. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And there's all kind of other ways to convex a knife. The reason I did it for this one right now with the WorkSharp is because it's very fast. You know, if you have a mouse pad or something very soft, a piece of leather that's going to give it a little bit, that's what you're going to need. You need something that's not rigid, so when it is removing material from the steel, it concaves a little bit to give that convex on the steel. So it's going to basically, the material needs to go like this, so your steel moves across it in that same shape. So give you that one, guys. If you guys have any other pointers, any better convexing videos with the strop or mouse pad piece of leather, Cadora, or a belt grinder for that matter, because all this is a mini belt grinder. Now it's very easy to convex with that, but watch out, guys. You don't want to over too hot, so you have to be nice and smooth with moving the blade across the belts. Don't leave it there for too long. You don't want the blade to get hot and mess up the tempering. The tempering. All right, guys. Adam from Equip to Door. If you have any questions or comments, please email me at adam@equiptodoor.com. You guys take care. Be safe out there. Remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.